Chris Parker, Mercer Culinary and Nasco Education. One of the things that's really important to speak on in the kitchen is food safety, sanitation, and how it relates to the mise en place process in the kitchen itself. This is really important as far as personal safety when it comes to having knives, working in the kitchen with knives, especially if you're in a busy kitchen environment. As for many of you know, kitchens are busy, fast-paced environments that have a lot of dangers around them, and so it's important to be aware of how we organize ourselves to make sure that we are as safe as we can be, both to ourselves and to the people around us. And so one of the things we talk about, of course, is knife safety, how we use and hold a knife. But really important part of that process is how we set up our station and move throughout the kitchen to make sure that we are as safe as we can be to those around us. Number one I have here is the way that we like to set up our station. Depending on our tasks, we have a variety of different ways of doing this, but we're going to be looking for a variety of things generally in place to do that. So first off, we have our cutting board. Our cutting board is clean and dry. It has been sanitized. Our cutting board is resting on some kind of material, whether it's a clean dry towel, a sanitary cutting board mat, or a cutting board that has grip feet built into it. We want to make sure that there's something between us and the actual table that we're working on to make sure that our cutting board isn't sliding around. As you can imagine, if your cutting board is sliding around, it's an easy way for something to slip and you can potentially cut yourself in that fashion. So want to make sure that our cutting board is not moving, it's not going anywhere. When we have our knife on our station, there are a variety of different ways to have your knife set up, but one of the easiest ways and most safe ways to have that set up is the blade at the top of the cutting board facing away from you. Why this is important is that you'll know that no matter what you're working with, the knife is neither a danger to you, and if anybody is working across from you, they can see the blade and be aware of it. So this is the easiest, safest way to do that. I don't recommend putting it on the cutting board with the blade facing towards you. If you reach for something, you can accidentally graze the top of your hand to your fingers, which can potentially cut yourself. I also know some chefs who like to put it to the side of their cutting board as well. The main issue here is that if your cutting board or your knife is a little bit larger or longer than your cutting board, you can have some overhang and some issues there. So generally speaking, for most of our rectangular cutting boards, having the knife with the blade facing up away from you is a very important way of doing that. I have my towel next to me. I use this for cleaning, wiping, sanitizing. I also have my sanitization towel off to the side for actually in the bucket itself. I want to make sure that if I have a towel on my station, it's always off to the side. We want nothing more, and this is the surest way to have an issue with the kitchen. If you're using a towel to wipe something down, you actually put it on there and then you turn and walk away. This is obviously a hazard to those around you. You can't see the knife underneath that cutting board or underneath under the towel, and you now have taken a towel that may potentially have some food on it and you've cross-contaminated on the towel itself. So if you're going to be using a clean dry towel to clean your blade or your knife, clean wipe and we put it to the side out of the way. And as far as cutting, chopping, I have two bowls in front of me. I have my main product here. I would take my product, my food item, onto the cutting board, cut, slice, chop. All of my finished product goes into a separate bowl, and then I take my remainder product and put it back in here, and I have my other tools spaced out around me. So there are many different ways to set up your cutting board station, but generally speaking, with the concept of mise en place, we want to make sure that everything is in its place. So each of our products and our tools are right where they need to be, so there's minimal movement on our part, so that we can move quickly and efficiently in the kitchen to make sure that there isn't any wasted energy or motion, and we are as safe as we can be. So in regards to safety, we have our station set up, we have our mise en place correctly. At some point, we're going to be able to move around the kitchen to go clean and wash our knives. So we have a technique for doing that in the kitchen as well. The way we do that is we take our knife, we hold it straight down to our side with the blade facing behind us. So you can see the blade is facing behind me here. The main reason I do that is so if I'm walking through the kitchen, I announce myself, I say behind you sharp, sharp behind, something to that effect. That way your coworkers know that you have a sharp knife behind them. And if someone turns and bangs into you suddenly, there's very little chance that you'll hurt them or yourself. So those are the kind of ways that we keep ourselves safe as we move through the kitchen when we have sharp knives and items in our hands. As we continue to talk about safety, think about the ways that we take care of ourselves and our tools in the kitchen. Making sure that we safely store our products is an important part of that as well. Mercer manufactures hard plastic knife guards, which are perfect for storing your items to make sure that your knives both are protected when they're not in use, but also not a threat to those around us. So we have these items, they're low cost. Highly recommend getting them as an investment in your tools, and I want to briefly show you how these products actually work. So they're very simple and straightforward. Essentially is a hard plastic sleeve. It fits over the bottom of the knife. It's tight fitting to make sure there's very little movement on the plastic and the blades themselves are protected. The technique for putting these knife guards onto your blades is to start with the heel end, with the knife rested in there, and then simply slide it into place so that your knives are protected. These are manufactured in a wide variety of shapes and sizes, so every knife in your kitchen can be protected. This is an 8-inch one that accommodates an 8-inch chef's knife. We also make small ones to accommodate your smallest knives, and we go all the way up to 12 inches and 14 inches for the largest knives in your kitchens. These are a simple, easy, low-cost way to protect your investment in your cutlery. As we discuss safety and sanitation, we want to be aware of lots of different products out there to keep our cutting boards secure and safe. One of the products that we want to highlight today is the Board Buddies from Mercer Culinary. These are available in 3 sizes. These are a silicone non-stick cutting board mat. They are designed to fit underneath your cutting boards and hold them securely in place. These are low cost, easy to maintain, and very easy to use. So you simply take this product, lie it flat, place a cutting board on top of it, and you are ready to work. Now, this is easy to maintain. Once you're done working with these products, you essentially can roll them up, you can put them through a dishwasher, drop them into a sanitizer bucket, and hang them dry. They're a simple, easy, low-cost way to be able to protect your cutting boards, keep things secure, and maintain your kitchens in a nice way. They come in 3 sizes, the smallest being able to accommodate a 6x9 cutting board. The medium size is designed to accommodate an 8x12, and then we go as large as to be able to accommodate a 16x20 cutting board as well. So lots of options available from Mercer Culinary, partnered with Nasco Education.